let me try this one more time and see if I can share it from my phone. Because there is a way to share that. There's a way. Oh, there we go. Hang on. The top, hang on. Okay, so. Oh, now I can do it. Cool. Okay, cool. So share to. I'll share it on my timeline and I'll share it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share this just to my personal page as well as to a group, and then we'll get started. I thought I had done this before, but somehow it's not working the same as it used to. But now I believe I can share it to a group. Yep. Hang on 1 second. I'll get started. Cool. Okay, so now I've got that taken care of. I see a couple of you are joining me. It's not really telling me. I'm going to pull it up also on my computer because I'm not really seeing comments or anything like that. But I'm really, really excited to talk about what I'm going to be talking about with you guys today because it's literally the number one thing that has made all the difference for myself and my business. And it's the thing that makes all the difference when I get off track. And it's really it's honestly like the biggest deciding factor that's going to set you apart from, it's either going to be you're the person who creates an empire, who has unlimited success, who really has huge impact, who has, also huge income, or if you're going to be that person who doesn't really reach their potential, that, really constantly feels stuck. And it sounds so simple, but it's one of the hardest things you can do as well. So basically, the number one reason, if you're not, hitting that next level, or you've hit a plateau, or even if things are starting to kind of fall apart in your business, is because you're not really showing up 100% as yourself at the highest level. And what I noticed, at least for myself, once I've had to do this in varying phases. You'll start to notice that, your message, has become a little bit watered down, or you're kind of just in that space of, I don't know what I'm going to show up and talk about today. Those kind of things are all signs, or, you're attracting in the wrong clients. People, or you're not attracting in as many clients at all, or your income slows down. These are all signs that you're not in that space of, showing up, being you, and getting paid. So basically, I'm going to kind of share with you guys, I'm sharing with you a bit of how it actually looks to, feel stuck in that way. But the other thing that you want to consider in your business is that, especially as a solopreneur, a coach, a healer, which a lot of you are service-based providers, you are your niche. You are your brand. You really are being paid to show up as yourself. So anytime that you fall away from that, or you're not really sure what your true message is, or you're not sharing, your background and your past and your story and being vulnerable with your audience, those are going to be the places where you are going to get stuck. You're not going to keep expanding. You're not going to be able to have the impact that you're meant to have. So this really goes beyond the money. It's not about the money at that point. It's actually about what your purpose is and what you're meant to do on this planet. But it is actually the number one thing that directly affects how much money you make. How you're going to end up, being compensated for this. Because the more you show up as your real authentic self, the more the money is going to flow in. Because your ideal clients can only work with you if they know truly who you are. So I'm just going to give you guys some tips on how to, really delve a little bit deeper into showing up as yourself, seeing where you might be out of alignment, so you can do it right away. So, basically the first thing you want to notice is your messaging, right? I think it's like a big pain point, even, for a lot of people who have hit six figures, maybe even multiple six figures, you can still get stuck, and hey, you know, what is my real message? What am I meant to share with the world? You know, for myself, you know, with my own messaging, I'm really, you know, all about taking, you know, your past. You know, a lot of you know, I had a, you know, really challenging past. I had a very severe eating disorder that nearly killed me, and that's how I found, you know, my spiritual path and started, you know, awakening my spiritual gifts. And now, you know, my biggest purpose is really to show other entrepreneurs, you know, conscious entrepreneurs, how to share their message, get their gifts out in the world, and literally change the world one, you know, entrepreneur at a time. Because here's the deal. When somebody is really out there making a big impact in the world through their business, it impacts everyone they work with. And then those people go out and, you know, make an impact too. So it's this big chain reaction with every person that I want to impact to really create a complete and utter, you know, shift in the consciousness on this planet and how business is done and, you know, how people show up. So, sorry, I'm getting a text. Anyway, where was I? So, you know, that's like a, you know, really big purpose of mine, and to show people that no matter how challenging your background is, you can still show up as a leader. You can still have a huge impact, because I'm like the last person anyone would have ever thought would be sitting in this space having, you know, a business that's, you know, heading toward $1 million this year, you know, creating that level of success, having that impact. You know, even, you know, 10 years ago, no one would have ever seen me as that person. So that's a thing to consider too in your own business. What is it about you and your background that really can inspire other people? So, you know, it might be that you're this love coach and you've had like 5, you know, divorces, but now you're in this amazing marriage to show people that it's still possible. You know, there's a lot of different things you can look at. So that's number one of being yourself, is to really delve into your own story, see what about your story needs to be shared. You're gonna have to be a little bit vulnerable. You don't want to be vulnerable in a way that depositions you, but you want to share your story vulnerably and connect with your audience, because they want to see you as a person. People don't buy, you know, services, honestly. They buy an outcome, but they buy the person. So, you know, that's why 2 equally talented coaches in the same industry, when one person is going to be attracted to one of them, other people are going to be attracted to the other one. It's because of who they are. So people are buying you. You are, you know, you're essentially the product. If you're coaching with me and you hate me, that would suck, right? Although I'm going to say, you know, I go really deep with my clients. So during some of the transformation, I might trigger them, and it's not all about loving me, but, you know, you have to resonate with my message. You have to resonate with my energy in order to work with me. Same with all of you guys. So the first thing is to really, you know, delve into your own story, and even through all the fear, to start to really show up as you. You know, the most important thing that you can ever do is to actually figure out, you know, in what ways are you playing small, or you're not showing your real personality? Are you super funny and you're showing up like super serious? You know, those kind of things. For myself, like, that was a little bit harder because I'm an introvert. Some of you guys might be too. And being on camera and talking to people, that could not necessarily be your comfort zone yet. And it actually can be. Honestly, I was more afraid of doing videos probably than anyone in the entire world. And I do a lot of videos now, and I actually enjoy it, and I find it to be a really great way to connect with my audience. But I don't think I ever was in a family video. I hid from videos my entire life. So just knowing that, you know, there's pieces of yourself that you're going to most likely be bringing forward to have your maximum impact. You might speak in public even though you never have before. There's things you're going to have to overcome. But still, it's really the foundation of who you are, what your personality is, your unique story that's going to start it. And from there, it's your message, right? It's really figuring out, you know, who you are, what problems you're solving for people, you know, what your focus for your message is. What do you know, I would start with, you know, the most at the heart part of it, and then you're going to have different spin-offs from it, different things you share from there. But you have to really think, like, if I only had one thing to say to the world, you know, what would that be? What would that message, you know, that I would share? So that's the other part, you know, that's basically like the foundation for being you. Then you got to really notice times that you're shrinking back, or you're starting to look at other people, or, you know, not really staying authentically you and what makes you unique. Because if you notice, the people who have really made it really far and who have had like that huge impact, they were unique. Every one of us is unique, but they were able to actually connect with what was unique about them, and instead of following the crowd, they just tapped into that. Some of it like is controversial, or it might trigger people, or some of those people you might find very annoying and other people love them. So you have to be yourself. And when you're being yourself, you're not going to be so, you know, whitewashed and bland and things like that. You're going to actually come out. There's going to be things that you share that should have the ability to be controversial. I mean, if you're there's nothing about your message that is controversial in any way, and that anyone could disagree with, that means it's not all going to inspire people. And it's not going to make a change in the world. If your message actually connects with the popular societal opinions of today, heaven help you, like, like it's time for you to, really go deeper, because let's look at society, right? The people who are actually making a difference on this planet aren't those who are following the herd and sheep. So if you want to be a change maker, you're going to have to get a little bit bold with your message, really feel into like what you stand for and what you don't stand for, and share it from that space. It's a very different approach. And you will get haters most likely. You will have people that disagree, but you will have people that resonate with it so much and are so moved by your message that it changes their life, it changes their business, it changes their health, changes their relationships, whatever you do with them, right? Like any of the, areas of focus. So I'm not seeing any comments. Let me make sure that, give me a second. If you guys have any questions or anything, put them in the, because I am not seeing them. I'll have to look it up on a separate one of those days where Facebook doesn't show the messages. I'm not sure if there are any comments, but okay, I can't see yet. Maybe there aren't yet. So I'm going to take, any questions and comments you guys have after, and I'll also answer any questions for those of you who are watching the replay, because it's really important stuff. But, what I'm really wanting to say is that when you get into that space where you're able to truly share your message, as bold as it is, where you're able to stand in your power and to really no matter what comes your way, to know that you're there to serve, to know that you're there for a bigger purpose, that's when you're going to actually start to attract in your soulmate clients. So if you are not loving the type of clients that you're attracting in, or you're feeling like they're not, your real, they're not, you're getting people in who aren't fully committed, or it's not like those soulmate clients, this is usually also the number one reason why. So if you're not showing up as the real you, or, you're trying to be a little bit more presentable, or you're trying to be a little bit more serious, and you're, whatever it is, then you're going to attract in the wrong people, because the right people are those who are going to be attracted to you for who you are. So if you're not showing who you are and your message isn't conveying it, and, the way that you're, coming out and the offers you're putting in the world aren't connected with it, then that's when you're going to have those clients that just aren't 100% right. And by starting to shift it, you will all of a sudden see that the right people will start to be, you will not have to chase down your clients. When you're really sharing your message powerfully and you're out there to serve every day and showing up, people will come to you. They'll say, I need to work with you. I know you're the one for me. So those are the, the ways to see if it's in alignment. And this is actually such an important topic that my business partner, Sherry Hemstreet, who is also, a psychic business coach for conscious entrepreneurs, and I created a program. And it's at, we put it at literally a no-brainer price point. It's as low as like, I think $135 a month to get in, or, $5.99 paid in full, because we wanted, this is something that so many people are struggling with, and it kills us, because it's not that challenging to shift, but it does take some focus. It does take some understanding. And there are some steps that you want to go through in order to refine your message, in order to get through the blocks of, being able to share your story, to know even what parts of your story are relevant and how to pull it in. So this program is actually called Be You Get Paid, and it's, High Vibe Plan Attraction. And I'm going to put the link out there, because if you're struggling with this, or you feel like you have not, owned your space, and you are not creating the income and having the impact that you desire, you're not bringing in, tons and tons of ideal clients for your programs, and people aren't approaching you on a regular basis, this is what's going to shift everything for you. So let me go ahead and pull up that link. And we have different options too. If you want to work deeper with us, we actually have an option where you can have 3 one-on-one sessions, or actually 2 one-on-one sessions, Sherry and I with you, which is so powerful. Together, our energy is really different, but we bring such, we're very different, but we bring such complementary energy to coaching calls that people have actually said that it's like 10 times the results when we're doing it together. So if you ended up going with the VIP option, you actually get the whole program for free. So it's actually, you get the $5.99 program for free. So I just put it in the comments on here, and I will share it as well in the group on the shared post too. But, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them below. Oh, thank you. Anna says, listening, great message. What do you do when you hit resistant days? This is like an amazing question, and you're going to hit those. Okay, so here's the deal. What happens, and this happens to all of us, it's happened to me too, is that resistant days turn into, an actual pattern. So one day of resistance, or, one day where you're kind of, off track, the most important thing is to not allow one day to become 37 days, right? Or even 7 days. So it's to really, feel into, why am I in massive resistance? I always go within. So whenever you're having that, it's to go within. And to go within right away, to really figure out, what is it I need to give myself? What am I afraid of? Sometimes resistance comes up in reaction to something that happened. So maybe you had some issue with your business, like, you lost a client, or you have a client you're struggling with, or somebody, said something about your message, whatever it is, it's often, some kind of an actual event or situation that sends you into it. And sometimes it's just, your old stuff coming up. So number one, you want to be doing your mindset work on a regular basis. And you want to be able to move through resistance. So there's going to be a space to go in and figure out what it's about. But then the number one thing is to move through it, to take actions anyway, to get whatever message is coming up with the resistance, to do the work you need to release it, and to move back forward. The worst thing that can happen is if you end up in a pattern of, just avoiding the resistance and not moving forward. Because that's when people get in, the equivalent of a slump in their business because they've stopped showing up due to, something setting them off course. So it could be something in your business that did it. It could be something that's going on in the rest of your life. You want to address it, but here's the deal. You don't have to be perfect to be out sharing your message. That's the other thing too. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, well, this is not perfect in my life. You're here to be a real person. You're here to share your journey. There's ups and downs. None of us are perfect. I'm very far from perfect. But that doesn't mean I can't be a leader and I can't lead my tribe. The most important thing to me is I'm always doing my work and showing up. So hopefully that answers your question, Deanna. Any other questions, guys, before I let you go? And if you have any questions about the program, the sales page is there, but you can take a look at it and send me a private message, or Sherry, or both of us, and we can answer any questions you have. It's going to be amazing. It starts next month, and it's well over $2,000 worth of value for under $600, or $135 a month. So it's pretty magical program. We're really excited about it. It's going to change anyone who's in it. We give a ton of value. Anyone who's in our program right now would say they've said that this is the most value they've ever received because we're in there all the time. You get coaching pretty much every day of the week, along with the trainings and the support. So you're going to see huge transformations. You will be being you and getting paid by the end of that program if you do the work, for sure. Hey, Kelsey. So I'm going to let you guys go. If you have any questions and you're watching the replay, just go ahead and put them in the comments. I'll come back and answer them for you. Same with any questions about the program, send me a PM, or you can put it in the comments too. Love you all. I'll see you soon. Bye.